We are here for episode 4 for Lights, Camera, Whatever. We are going to jump into Wave Maker. Making waves, like I said. Wave Maker, episode 4 on Netflix, English subtitles for the foreigners. Now, let's jump into the description. Ya-ching faces growing pressure over an official complaint lodged against an improper colleague. Jung-chih grows curious about her father's secrets. Who's not curious about their father's secrets? Let's do this. Number 1. Should reporters have a rating or score to determine if they should be allowed to continue reporting? Guys, these reporters are getting a little bit out of hand. First of all, I super hate paparazzi. Super hate it because I was always a David Beckham fan. And seeing them chase him, like when I was little, I used to be so angry. I'm a little bit, Princess Diana was another thing, but I was a David Beckham fan. I'm a huge Beckham fan. And seeing them chase him in Victoria and bother them outside of their apartment, I've always hated it. Now, back to the question, why I mentioned that is because if you are a malicious, and malicious means bad, right? If you are a malicious reporter and you were like kind of attacking people and, coercing people. Coerce means force, for those listening. If you're coercing the whoever you want to interview, to answer certain questions and attacking and following them and just keep, badgering them with questions, something's wrong with you. And I remember there was a situation here where there was a Belgium Chinese YouTuber had said something about Taiwan's heat. And the reporter blew it up and said these bad things. And in time, of course, this is a small country, guys. The news spreads quick. It spreads faster than a blink, right? So the whole internet blew up, was this guy. And I was like, wait, Taiwanese actually say the same thing about Taiwanese heat. Why he can't say it? It's because the reporter blew it up, right? And then I really like what this YouTuber did. He went on his platform, which has 1 million people, and a reporter, nobody knows the reporter. But in Taiwan, but the YouTuber is, I guess popular around the world. And he blew this reporter up and showed that his old evidence of what he did in the past to other people. So some people have a record. So that's why I say if you have a rating or score, should you be allowed to? No, if you have a very low, score or rating, you shouldn't be allowed to continue reporting. You should be banned. And whoever's hired you should really think about that. Because one thing that Denzel Washington said is it doesn't have to be true. It has to be first. And that's the news right now. They don't really care if it's true. They're reporting, they're trying to see it first. They're not caring if it's true, right? So they're just going to come and attack and judge you. And then later, let the audience deal with it. And that is really, really bad. So should reporters have a rating or score? Absolutely, yes. Because there's a lot of reporters who should not be there. Number 2, when you see the top management of your company is not taking your sexual harassment case seriously, do you leak the proof they are blatantly ignoring or let it I let it pass. I would not let it pass. I would leak it. You've told top management, say, hey, this guy or this woman sexually harassed me 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and they don't do anything, then I'm leaking it. I'm going to leak it, right? Because I've literally, clearly, that's why I said in the question, I intentionally put blatantly ignoring. You have blatantly ignored that I've told you that I have been sexually harassed, right? And women do sexually harass men. Guys guys do it more, of course, because they're stronger, but women sometimes will do it too. So this is a two-way street, but we live in a society where men do it more. So let's be realistic. So if you've, talked to the top management and say, hey, I'm being sexually harassed. Why aren't you doing anything? And they just say, oh, it's nothing. You're thinking too much. Focus more on your work. Don't focus on it. And, they try to overshadow and do all these things. That's when you should go out there and leak it. That's when you should leak it. You should definitely let it out. That is wrong, guys. It's wrong to do that. Now, the next one says, if your political party has a sexual harassment case, would you hide it to protect the campaign or justice should be served? Well, let me tell you this. If you do try to hide it, it's going to come out later, right? Now, the question is, if it's not involving you, but you're in the party, should you say something? Or should you help suppress it, right? Or should you not stop it from spreading? Crazy, right? Because think about it. You're in the campaign. You are helping with the campaign. This is not your campaign. You're helping the campaign, right? And your party has a sexual harassment case. And everyone's trying to suppress it. Everyone's trying to push it down and hide it. And they say, hey, Ray, like, don't say anything. I'm like, I'm not going to not say anything, but like, somebody got sexually harassed. Like, are we really hiding this? Are we really just not going to say anything about this? Like, at all? Because if you join that boat, if you jump on that same boat, right, in the future, your name is going on that list of people who helped, right? People who helped this situation be silenced. And that person who, was harassed sexually, who didn't get any help, justice was not served, what's going to happen, right? They always, in the end, end up hurting themselves because no one took action. And that's the problem. Nobody took action. So as a result, do you want your name attached to that? The person who didn't help, like you had the room and the capability to help and you didn't help. Think about that. You actually had the power to help and you didn't help. And now that you didn't help, this person is thinking to hurt themselves. And I don't want to have that on my conscience. And conscious means that you are constantly thinking about this nonstop because you could have done something, but you didn't, right? So, and that's the problem. So when you're dealing with this situation, you got to think to yourself, okay, do I not say anything or do I pretend to not say anything? Whatever. If you're not helping, you're hurting. Very simple. If you're not helping the situation, you're hurting. So for me, if I was in that party, I would probably have to leave the party. And let me not say probably. I will leave the political party because, yes, there might be some financial benefits to joining this party, some very powerful connections, whatever. But in the end, someone was sexually harassed and you are part of a party who's supposed to be serving your country. And if you're not serving a citizen who's part of your country, then what are you doing? There's no point, right? Now, if there's some woman who's been caught before lying and trying to get money from people by saying that's a different story. But if there's clear, substantial evidence that there's a sexual harassment case and there's clear, substantial evidence that your party is trying to hide, I have to go. I don't want to be part of that. Number 4, as every family is not perfect, is it really necessary to interview a candidate's family? Guys, this is funny because a president could be a really great, man, could be a really great woman, but their kids could be messed up. Their kids could be absolutely messed up. And this is in the States. This is Taiwan and Europe. It doesn't matter. There's no family that is perfect. I don't think it's necessary because, this is what I want to talk about, guys. Society is sick because we expect perfection in the imperfect, imperfect, circumstances, right? Let me repeat that. We expect perfection in the imperfect circumstances, right? We're expecting the president to have a beautiful family, or a wife and kid, or a husband and kid, and we're supposed to just close our eyes and act like, hey, they can't make mistakes. This is the president. Or you can't, your son can't be in a nightclub. You're the mayor, right? This is wrong, guys. They're the most amazing, genius, intellectual people on earth, literally on earth, and their kids are messed up. There's some people who won the Nobel Prize, the laureate, right? For the ethics or science or something, a public policy, whatever, and their kids are messed up. Their kids are like literally drinking and partying and doing drugs. I don't think it's necessary to have to interview a candidate's family unless they agreed. And also, once that camera gets rolling, that's it. We've seen it. So if you're a candidate running for the mayor election, president election, or whatever, senator, governor, you better think twice about having your family on that interview because once CNN rolls in there and Fox and whoever, and that camera's rolling, it's terrible because basically right now, it doesn't matter if the video is deleted from their platform. This is 2024. Whatever trash is out there, it's going to stay trash and it's going to be spreaded. It's going to be print screen. It's going to be turned into a meme. And the worst thing right now is to be turned into a meme. You don't want to be a meme. Please don't be a meme because when you're turned into a meme, man, it's really terrible. It's really, really terrible. So basically, you're going to be a joke. You're going to be laughed at. And then what is the DNA of a meme? It is constantly shared and spread nonstop in all languages, in every platform and everywhere. because you didn't think twice and say, hey, like maybe my family wants peace, but oh no, I want to have a perfect image. Guys, not every family is perfect, so I don't think it's necessary. Number 5, as pure talent is becoming rare, should plagiarism be more heavily penalized? Guys, this is a very serious question because ChatGPT is here. I'm a cheap guy. I'm not paying for ChatGPT. I'm gonna use the free version. But ChatGPT is here. It is very useful, but it can't replace speaking. And even if you're using AI voice, it doesn't matter. Use it to the full extent that you can. But let me tell you something. You still got to go to the meeting. You still got to talk. You still got to negotiate. So it might help you in the beginning stages, right? To get people's attention, to get people attracted to what you're selling. So you're always going to do a service or a product. There's only 2 ways of business: it's a service or a product. So if you're producing a product or selling a service, yeah, it will help you. It will make you look good. But eventually you have to have an authentic thinking. You have to have talent. ChatGPT and all these, AI platforms, they help you to a certain degree, to a certain extent. So plagiarism, it means that you're copying something and then using it as your own. It's just wrong. It's just absolutely wrong. It's not yours, guys. Don't do it. You spending so much time copying, you could be spending a lot more time learning and trying and doing your best. But you spending all of this time copying, right? What's wrong? What's wrong with you? Just spend more time trying to be authentic and be distinctive. But ChatGPT is making it too easy for people. So should plagiarism be? I think plagiarism should be heavily penalized. So if you're like a college student and you've copied like 30% of someone's essay and turned it in, you should be banned from college. Simple. Number 6, I don't have PTT, but I know people love it. If platforms like PTT are netizens' most valuable source of the latest scoop, should we still watch the news? Man, I don't really know, because I think I have my platforms in the States where I check my news, but it's not the news. Some people call it Instagram. But the thing is, like, PTT is in Taiwan. It's a platform for the people who are not in Taiwan or not even thinking about visiting Taiwan. There's a platform here called PTT where people post everything. And I say everything, and I think you get my point. But that's where people are getting the news, right? And that's when I call it the latest scoop. Latest scoop means not ice cream scoop. The latest scoop means the latest news. So should we still watch the news? Yes, in a way. But like I mentioned, some of these platforms, they show what they want to show. They don't show what we need to see. They show what they want to show. But platforms like PTT will post everything. And I think platforms like this in China will not make it within 1 hour. But in Taiwan, this is a democratic country. People share what they want. So if platforms like this exist, it's up to you guys if you want to watch the news. It's totally up to you. If you want to watch the news, it's all choice. That's why when you're in a democratic country, you have choices, right? But sometimes these platforms like PTT are more, resourceful than the news, because the news will make you watch advertisements and then wait for the news. They'll tell you something bad happened and they'll tell you tonight we'll watch it at 7:00. But you're waiting the whole day I don't like that. So I think it should be, for me, I would just do both. That's just for me. Number 7, should we dig up someone's old dirt to attack them today? This is getting boring, guys. There's some people who got canceled for what they said like 20 years ago. Now, if it's like something you said was like so bizarre, like I'm going to kill this certain group of people or this ethnicity, yeah, you should be canceled. Yeah, because you're probably still thinking the same thing today. But if you were drunk and said something like, something just really stupid toward another person, say like, I hate this person, but it wasn't racist or it wasn't really crazy, that's a different story, right? That's a different story because you were drunk. You said something that wasn't racist. But if you say something that was like racist and very, something like genocide or something, you want to kill a bunch of people, then yeah, you need to be called into question. But instead of digging up people's old dirt to attack them, this is talking about politics, just try to focus on the point. Don't make your political campaign someone's dirt. You need to focus on how to satisfy your constituents, your people, your citizens, right? How to make them happier, how to make life better for the country, the government, the economy, and yourselves, right? Think of yourselves as a citizen. But just using someone's dirt to attack them, that's boring. That's really boring, guys. Don't do that. And it doesn't really help anything. Now it says, are you the type who will stand up for their coworker who was sexually harassed, or every man for themselves? Well, if you know me, guys, I don't really hold my tongue. Actually, I'm a very quiet person until I'm not. Like I put on my Instagram, I'm a social introvert. If I have something to say, I will say it. If I don't have anything to say, I won't say anything. I'll be mute. But if someone was sexually harassed in a company and nobody was helping, I would be the one you should be scared about, because I'm the one who's very intelligent and who knows how to spread information, the right information in a very intellectual way, to help this person, because you can't go around sexually harassing people, touching people, and forcing people to. I mean, guys, let me be clear. Sexual harassment is not just having sex. If you have rubbed a woman's shoulder, like rubbed it, and this woman doesn't know you, that is sexual harassment. If you've touched her back, and if she fail, okay, but if you've literally holding her back and rubbing her back, what are you doing? She doesn't know you. That's sexual harassment, right? And I don't even have to explain. You know when you're wrong. You know when you're wrong. I don't even have to go down the list of scenarios. It's just stupid what men are doing right now. Stop touching these women, guys. Like, seriously, go home, do something for you. Don't, because this is Taiwan, and whatever you did, it will haunt you for your entire career. Nobody will hire you, right? Nobody will want to do business with you, right? Just don't do it. It's just not worth it. I would definitely have to stand up. Number 9, what is your favorite unhealthy food to let you release? In Taiwan, it's called yuto gao. It's like a taro, fried, and they chop it into these squares. Guys, this is an absolute drug. And I'm really embarrassed to say it. It's a drug. It's the most delicious thing on earth for me. It's called yuto gao. It's like I don't know how to say the gao translation, but it's taro fried into cubes. And it's so amazingly good. Even I'm talking about it, it's like I want it right now. So what is your favorite unhealthy food to let you release? It is definitely yuto gao. And for the people who don't live in Taiwan, they have this type of food stand called yen suji or shin suji. It's like salty chicken, but they're not only serving chicken. It's just a name. And they serve all type of things like tempura, chicken. What else they have? Like tofu. They have squid and all type of things. It's just a name. It's called the salty fried chicken place, but they actually serve a lot of things. Do not go to this place, because once you go to it, you won't stop. And that's all I'm going to say. So number 10, would you befriend someone close to your enemy just to revenge them? I just revenge you directly. I don't need to, because because maybe this friend is like a really good friend, but you gotta be their friend to get to the enemy. And then what are you going to do once you get your revenge? You're just going to leave this friend alone? So it's just better. That's just for me. This is just teacher Ray speaking. Like, that's just me personally. Like, I think befriending someone to get revenge is just a waste of time. Yes, it's probably a useful strategy, and I am not recommending you to do this. I'm not. But like I say, I'm extracting here, and I'm not going to say, you know what I mean. But for me to befriend someone to get revenge on another person, I would just get revenge directly. I don't need to because I don't like hurting people's feelings, right? Like I become your friend, and we're like best friends. We're hanging out. We're going to KTV. We're going to the batting cage. I think in Chinese it's called the Ya-ching. We're playing baseball, having drinks, and then one day, you just find out I'm just being with you to hang out with you to get to someone close to you. You will be hurt. And like I said, I don't like living with things on my conscience. So for me, I would not. But for you, please let me know, because I really want to know. Now, number 11, would you help someone set up your parent if you knew your parent was doing something bad? Absolutely. Well, if my dad was like some genocidal maniac, like, killing millions of people, yes, because I couldn't be someone's son like that. I could not be someone's son who was killing thousands of people. Like, I would literally do my best to change my last name. I would do my best to go to another country. I would learn Spanish. I probably won't learn Spanish because my Spanish is really terrible. But my listening is good in Spanish. It's just the grammar is really crazy. Nothing against Spanish. It's a very beautiful language. But I do like Portuguese. It does sound better for me because I'm a fan of Brazil. But I would not help someone set up my parent. I would not help someone set up my parent because they are my parent. But I would say I would warn my parent and say, hey, you better watch out. There are people coming for you. You've done a lot of damage in the world. You've hurt a lot of people. I know you don't care. I'm not saying my parents care, but I'm just, I'm acting right here. Please give me my Oscar Academy for that. Like, I know you don't care, whatever, it's your business, but there's people coming for you. But for me to help someone actually set up the person who created me, that's another, like I say, guys, I'm going to repeat this word. I don't like things on my conscience. Like, I just don't like it. I just don't like it. So that wouldn't be me. Now, the last one says, what to do when your coworker wants to have a relationship with you, but you only want to be coworkers. If the boss of the company doesn't do anything, I'm going to, guys, I have to tell, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I speak my mind. And I know and why I say this, because I know how to speak my mind very sharply to tell someone, like, leave me alone and get away from me. Now, if they don't catch that warning, I won't get physical because I'm too strong. I don't want to get sued. I'm too strong to fight someone. But if they don't take that very clear warning, then I have to tell the boss. And if the boss doesn't do anything, then I have to, like I mentioned in the other question, I have to sue the company because I told this person I don't want a relationship, but it's clearly being seen that they're not allowing me to be free. And guys, there's going to be people who like you that you don't want to be with. If you're a beautiful person, it's going to happen. But you got to be smart enough to deal with the situation. That is episode 4, Lights, Camera, Whatever. Thank you. Comments, guys. I got to know your comments. See you in the next episode.